This is a very special time of the year. We know after week one of any sport, it is the best time to go and overreact about every little thing. Week one is when many people decide that we're going to crown the MVP of that regular season. We're going to crown the champion of that season. We know who's winning coach of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year. We know who's going to be the worst team and the best team. We know what rookies are going to be bust and which rookies are going to be superstars. We know which players' contracts were worthy of them and which ones were not. That is what a lot of people like to decide upon this very day every single year. We love looking at players and overreacting on week one. Now, does any of this stuff actually matter? Absolutely not. None of that is determined in week one, and we have no idea what will ever actually happen throughout the duration of the season based on 1 week. I don't think you can truly get a good grasp of a player or a team for that season at least until at least week 4. I like to say week 6, though. And in terms of a player's career, we don't see that depending on where you are. I like to say the 3-year rule. I think you need 3 years for really to determine if a player is a legit superstar, if he's just a good player, what he's going to be a bust or not. That's my theology on that. But hey, since we love to overreact, let's go make our big takeaways from week 1 of the NFL season. I know we have one more game to play that kicks off in what now? About 25 minutes with the New York Jets and Buffalo Bills. But we got some stuff to get into. Week 1, overreactions are topics today. Number 1, the Detroit Lions are legit. Not Super Bowl legit, I don't think, but they're going to win a game in the playoffs. I do believe they have capabilities of doing so. And on the other side of that, the Kansas City Chiefs, yeah, they're just fine. I just mentioned before the break, they got Chris Jones back. Kelsey's going to be just fine. They're still my favorite to repeat as champions this year in the Super Bowl. They'll be just fine. They lost by 1 point without the best weapon in all the NFL and Travis Kelce, with their wide receivers dropping about every dang ball that came their way, with the running game absolutely abysmal, and not having a defensive pass rusher that is debatably the best pass rusher in all the NFL on their side. They're going to be just fine. And like I said, that's against a team, the Detroit Lions, who are a very good team. Major props to Dan Campbell, not taking anything away from them. They have a legitimate roster. I'm saying the Kansas City Chiefs are still different. Browns and Bengals, my goodness gracious. A lot of people might come out and say, well, the Cincinnati Bengals, they don't look too swell. 24-3, and Deshaun Watson was not playing at his best and highest level either. Yeah, that was ugly. Joe Burrow was struggling. The team was struggling, but they're going to be just fine. I don't remember exactly the statistical data on this, but if I'm not mistaken, they looked pretty rough last year too to start the season, and they ended up having a pretty darn good year if you ask me. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh my goodness, the Cincinnati Bengals are done with. No, they're going to be just fine. In fact, they might still just win that division. But the Browns are interesting. You win 24-3 with Deshaun Watson playing a subpar, pretty decent game. Not too great, not too bad, but not too shabby for them. We talked about the Baltimore Ravens. Injuries are going to kill them. That sucks, but I think they're still going to be just fine this season. Justin Jefferson, my goodness gracious. Great game. But guess what? Whatever Justin Jefferson can do, I think Tyreek Hill can do just as good, if not better. At this point in time, I said before the break too, that I think Jettis is the best wide receiver of the future. I think he's the number 2 best wide receiver in the NFL right now. But in my opinion, Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver in all of the NFL. And let me say why. A lot of people say Jettis got better route run. Jettis got this, that, and the third. But guess what? No, what Jettis don't got the speed that Tyreek Hill got. Tyreek Hill has a speed unlike any athlete that we have seen dominate at a sport outside of track stars like Usain Bolt. The fact of the matter is, I don't care what moves you can do, how you can get open, and your footwork, and whatever the case might be as a player, and how you decide to get open. The fact of the matter is that there is a chance that no matter what move you put on a guy, that a cornerback has a chance of staying with you. No cornerback has a chance of staying with Tyreek Hill. Ain't no way. He is going to outrun whoever you put at him. Double, triple coverage, whatever, it don't matter. He's going to outrun you. You can line up 10, 15 yards back. He's still going to outrun you somehow. He is unbelievable. And the way that Tua was playing yesterday showed us once again why I was wondering. So many people all of a sudden started hating on Tua this past offseason. Like they forgot what he was capable of doing, what he showed he was capable of doing in the beginning parts of last season prior to the concussions, injuries that started to pile up for him. That team was rolling, and guess what? They're going to be a very, very, very special team. Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Jalen Waddle is the best wide receiver, too, in the entire NFL. Tua looks like he's a legitimate top 10, if not higher quarterback. I do not have my rankings with me at this point in time, but he is a legit quarterback, and he outshone, and that team beat the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert didn't look too bad either, but Miami is a legitimate threat this season, and Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver in all the NFL. Let me make that clear. But the Buccaneers beat the Vikings. That's a little interesting. Then we head on out, and the 49ers absolutely run the Steelers out of the field, I should say. 49ers win 30-7 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh my goodness gracious, the Steelers look bad. 7 points is all they had. They only had rushed the ball 10 times the entire game, which you have a great running back in Najee Harris. You didn't get to utilize that too much there. You were throwing the ball. Kenny Pickett threw 48 times, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe more than that. I'm not sure. I think it was 48, though. And the defense was, I guess, all right. I think they have the talent to be one of the best defenses in all the NFL. But Patrick Peterson did not look very good. TJ Watt was phenomenal, like he always is. But the rest of the team struggled. The 49ers, though, let me say this. I mentioned that I think the 49ers have a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl this year. I like them a lot. I think that they are a very, very, very talented team this season. They have all the pieces coming together, and you have a quarterback that's making under $1 million. Man, you can go pay those guys, and that's what they just did. Can we give some respect to Brandon Ayuk, though? I have said, and I know I haven't had the show, and I haven't talked about this before publicly, but those that know me know I've loved Brandon Ayuk. He has not got the respect he deserves for the past couple of seasons. He is a stud. Brandon Ayuk can ball out. And the 49ers have this team of just wild weapons. You have a true legitimate, potentially star wide receiver in Brandon Ayuk. You have a star tight end in George Kittle. You have Deebo Samuel, who is this guy that's capable of running the ball, receiving the ball. He does all kinds of stuff for you. He's just one of the best weapons in all of football. You have a running back in Christian McCaffrey, who is just one of the great weapons in football, an elite running back who's able to catch out of the backfield, go and do all these different things. He is more than talented. The offensive line looks good. Brock Purdy showed up and showed out. He showed that he is not just a one-year fluke. I think he's legitimate. Now, where do I put him? Top 10, top 15? I don't know about that yet. But he looks like a legitimate quarterback that can win a Super Bowl if given the opportunity to. So they look good. The defense is special as well. So they just destroy the Steelers 30-7. Jaguars and Colts go back and forth. I do think Anthony Richardson looks legit. The stories we've been hearing, my goodness, about the work ethic that he puts into this craft, the way that he stays in practices for many hours after, the way he's trying to be a guy that takes care of the fans. Much respect. I think Colts have their franchise quarterback in Anthony Richardson. Now they got to build around him the proper way, and they got to put the pieces together. I don't know how good they're going to be this year, but they have a legitimate quarterback now. Trevor Lawrence looked good, and the team looked great as well. They just got so many weapons, some rust to shake off, but not too bad at all. The Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson looks a little bit better, but they still get the L to the Raiders, who was the only team in the AFC West that won a game this week. Interesting, didn't expect that to happen. So that's what goes down there. Ryan Tannehill looks actually absolutely abysmal. I don't know what the heck is going on in Tennessee. Malik Willis must be horrible. Levis must be horrible because he started the job out there. I don't know how much longer that's going to last. DeAndre Hopkins? Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, okay. That Barber was not the best move, but we're going to be 100% honest right now. The Tennessee Titans, I don't know what to say about them, but Derek Carr looked decent. They get the W in week 1. Eagles, 25-20 against the New England Patriots. Now, they came out flying. They came out playing like the Eagles that we saw go to the Super Bowl last year, and then they kind of collapsed. And the Patriots made it a game, but they still win 25-20. And they came out after the game they came out the game and they talked about the fact that they probably need to go out and play guys in the preseason more. I agree with that statement. I think we're going to see more teams keep going back to playing guys in the preseason, at least a few drives. They looked a little bit rusty, but the Eagles get the W in week 1. Rams somehow get 30-13 win over the Seahawks. That's a little bit surprising to me. Let's be honest here, and here's why. The LA Rams are a team that many thought, including myself, will not be very good this year. When you don't have Cooper Kupp, when you don't have a lot of these guys, Stafford looked banged up, but Stafford comes down to 334 yards. Cam Akers, 22 carries for 29 yards. That's a whole other story. I don't know what to say about that. But Kyron Williams got the job done, 3.5 yards per carry. But they had 2 guys get over 100 receiving yards last night. Tutu Atwell, 6 receptions, 119 yards. Puka Nacua, 10 receptions for 119 yards. He also is the very first rookie wide receiver in his debut game to cross over 100 yards. I believe it's Jamar Chase, if I'm not mistaken. Looked good in that game. We'll see how this can hold for the Rams, but they get the W in week 1. The Packers, my goodness, that streak does not end, does it? They get another win against the Bears. I don't know if the Bears are ever going to get that win against them. And Jordan Love, I know it's week 1. Don't get me mistaken here, and I'm not going to go and say he's going to be the perfect replacement. They're going to go to another third superstar following Brett Favre's era, the Aaron Rodgers era, now the Jordan Love era. But you can't tell me he did not look good yesterday. You can't tell me that he did not look nice. You don't have Christian Watson, your wide receiver 1. He's hurt week 1. But they still go out and score 38 points in that game. And when we talk about him playing, 15 for 27 passing, not the best, but 245 yards, 3 touchdowns, 12 yards in the rushing game. Not too bad. I think Jordan Love looks interesting, intriguing to me. I think he has a chance to be their quarterback of the future, and I don't mind it. He looks legitimate, ready to play. The Dallas Cowboys. Okay, this is the last thing we're going to get into regarding the NFL season week 1. I don't even know how to process what happened in that Sunday night game last night. The New York Giants looked horrible. 0 points. I get the raining conditions. I get what was happening there. But at the end of the day, Dallas found a way to get the job done. And I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, just a one-hit wonder. Daniel Jones is completely done. For the line could not protect him to save his life. It was horrible. But that was not pretty at all. And so it makes me wonder, the Dallas defense is elite. They have a chance to be the best defense in all football. That debate is certainly processable there. That's not something to question there. They have a chance to be the best defense in football. But at the end of the day, holding a team to 0 points and having that bad of a game, I think that has some things to do with the weather a little bit. But still, the Dallas Cowboys, they get the W 40-0 against the Giants. Giants look absolutely horrible. Dallas looks like the best team in all football right now. And that's why I say it's Overreaction Monday, because we're all going to overreact upon week 1. Do I think the Dallas Cowboys are the best team in all football? Do I think they have the best defense ever possibly? I don't know. That's going to be determined. But what looked like last night was a team that was ready to win a Super Bowl, that looked like they were ready to dominate the league, a defense that is undisputably one of the best in all of the world. But that is week 1. So that's a recap from week 1 of the NFL season. There's still one game. We'll get into that on Wednesday's episode. We'll see whatever happens in about 15 minutes from now in the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets.